Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight. And man, we have a lot of news today, man. So last night, man, a lot of reports going around that WWE sold to Saudi Arabia. Uh, but it's not really from like a big source. It's just like a bunch of smaller sources like no Sean Rassap, no major outlet like ESPN, Fox, Bleacher Report, CBS News. Nobody really reported this. I feel like this is something that it would be reported by like not only wrestling reporters but like big time news outlets, right? Sports, maybe ESPN, Fox Sports. This would be something huge, right? And it seems like nobody reported that it was sold to Saudi Arabia. Only some like small wrestling reporters that are actually not I didn't even know existed. Um, but yeah, I mean, the biggest wrestling, like one of the biggest is Sean Ross Sapp, and he pretty much said the only thing he knew it was a rumor, but he did say that you could no longer take bets to try to bet to win money to see which who was going to buy WWE. He said those are apparently no longer available, so that could mean something. But I mean, the rumors, it's just that it's rumors, and as of right now, it has not been sold. Now, one of the persons that said yesterday last night that it was sold to Saudi Arabia said today the deal is not official, but it's done in principle. They're still working on some deals, but the deal is expected to go official. That's what one of the persons who did tweet last night that it was sold to Saudi Arabia said today. But who knows what's going on, man? And a lot of stuff. Obviously, there's some wrestlers, right, like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think MVP have never really gone to Saudi Arabia because some of the religion or some of the other stuff, personal belief they have, they don't agree with Saudi Arabia. So I know that they said that last night NXT, a bunch of the wrestlers were nervous about going on. And I don't know which wrestler from NXT or the main roster apparently did let WWE know that if the company were to be sold to Saudi Arabia, they would quit. A lot of people obviously thinking right away Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens, as those are the only at least two big stars that have never competed in Saudi Arabia because they just don't want to. And then even this could affect like if you try to get MJF in 2024, because I believe he's Jewish, and I guess that doesn't go well with Saudi Arabia. I don't know. So they're saying that's a big thing. Religion could be a big thing that could lead to a lot of guys even asking for a release, man. Because I don't know, man. A lot of stuff going on, man. But if this would go through, apparently the company would go private, which means no more shareholders, which means no more board of directors. They would have a lot more freedom to do stuff. And maybe a lot of people are thinking this is why McMahon is doing this, right? Because I mean, when UFC was sold to Game Adventures, I believe, when it was sold to them, Dana White did stay as vice president, right? So maybe they were saying that, well, maybe Vince McMahon can work out a deal on the contract where it says, yeah, I'll sell you my company, but I'm still in charge. I'm still the chairman of the board, even if there's not a board, I guess. And then Vince he just has to answer to Saudi Arabia. He doesn't have to worry about a board of director or the shareholders. So it would be more easier to do stuff, right? You don't have to get stuff approval by the shareholders and the board of director anymore. And then you could just work out a deal to stay with them. So I mean, I feel like with McMahon, the power, he's so power hungry. I feel that's how it would go down. Like he would say, "Yeah, here you go. Here's the company. The only thing I want in return is you're not kicking me out. I'm putting the contract. I'm staying in as chairman of the board or CEO, whatever the hell the position would be." And I guess if Saudi Arabia were to agree like that, just like Adventures agreed to keeping Dana White as vice president of UFC when they bought it. So that's possible. Obviously, McMahon, man, taking a bunch of people out of the board of directors, man. And a lot of people resign as well. Stephanie McMahon being one of them. His own daughter resigned last night. Maybe she knows something we don't know, but she said, after 6 months ago, I stepped down for leave of absence, and then I was forced to come back as to replace my father as co-CEO and chairwoman. Now that he's back on board, I feel confident the company is in great position, and I am not only stepping away this time for a brief time. I'm taking it one step further in announcing my resignation as WWE CEO. So Stephanie McMahon is out, which means obviously not only is she out as CEO, she's also out as a member of the board of directors. Nick Khan is now solely the CEO. Vince McMahon is now the chairman of the board, and Triple H, for now at least, remains as chief content creator, which means he's in charge of creative. But that could obviously change. But apparently, and I think the board right now is made out of Nick Khan, Vince McMahon, Triple H, George Barrows, and Michelle Wilson. I believe those are the only 5 members left right now on the board of directors. Everybody else has either been fired by Vince McMahon or resigned. So I believe at one point it was 11 people in that board. It's down to 5. So yeah, man. Like I said, Stephanie stepped, and that was reported, by the way, by a lot of news outlets, especially including ESPN, that Stephanie McMahon had resigned as CEO of WWE. So that just tells you that was legit news, where no big news outlet reported the fact that WWE had been sold to Saudi Arabia. So that means I don't think it's a done deal. I think it is a possibility, especially if Vince McMahon can find a way to stay with the company, but also turn it private. So then he can get rid of the board of directors as a whole, and he can get rid of the shareholders as well. And he just has to report directly to Saudi Arabia. But yeah, man, who knows what's going on, man? Who knows what's going on with the WWE, man? Boy, oh boy, man. I wonder if a lot of wrestlers would just ask for the releases, and it would just be like super crazy, like a bunch of, like, you have up to like maybe 10 guys asking for the releases. It would be interesting to see what happens if this deal would go through with Saudi Arabia. How many employees, not only wrestlers, would be on board, and how many would just say, hey, release. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we stand right now. Stephanie McMahon resigns as CEO. She's no longer with the company. She's off the board of directors as well. And a bunch of rumors going around that WWE has been sold to Saudi Arabia, which is that right now it's not official. And Vince McMahon is back as the chairman of the board. For now, Triple H is still head of creative, chief content officer. Nick Khan is CEO. So right now it's McMahon board, Nick Khan CEO, and Triple H chief content creator or officer, whatever how you're calling him, head of creative. That seems to be the thing for now. And as for now, WWE is still not sold. We'll see what happens. I was hoping that it would get officially clear by today. But as of right now, it looks like it's still a rumor. But if I would have to say, I don't think WWE, as of right now, it's not sold to anybody. It's still on the market. If that, right, they could be another strategy for McMahon to say, you know what? All I wanted to do was get back on the board. And eventually he takes over as head of creative. He takes that away from Triple H. And before you know it, the company never sold. He just put more friendly people on his side as on the board. And now he's back to running WWE, and it's never sold. That could also always be a possibility where McMahon it was just a strategy, and the company's never going to be sold. He just stays like old times. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm like a light. I thank you.